This is it. This is what you've been waiting for. For 7 straight movies. It's all been leading up to this one final movie. The 8th one in the Harry Potter series. Deathly Hallows Part 2. This is the moment you've been waiting for. And you're like, ooh-wee. And you're up there, you high on top. And you're waiting for this to happen. And I feel like this is one of those movies that people forget. The first half is not really that great. And then that second half blows your freaking mind away. So let's go ahead and jump into it. My review that might cause some controversy of Harry Potter 7 Part 2, The Deathly Hallows. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. And what is Movie Breakdowns? A movie review series. We look at new and old movies, give them a grade, A through F, plus and minuses do count. If the movie you want me to review, let me know. Please put in the comment section below. And I have a Patreon. And on that Patreon, you can jump in front of everybody else as far as movie reviews. You pay me $7 a month. You get not only movie reviews, you get trailer reactions, first thoughts, a bunch of other stuff, movie reviews that come up before the series, before they come out on YouTube and Facebook, and you get to jump in line. There's a movie you want me to review, you put in that Patreon, pay the $7, I go find it immediately and watch it for you. There's no ifs, ands, or but. It's just done up in like whenever I get there, like within a week, 5 days maybe. So that's what you get for being a Patreon member, which is Patreon/Ali Zakka. Now let's go ahead and get into Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2. This is the shortest movie of them all. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes. The movie came out in 2011. Deathly Hallows Part 1 came out in 2010. This one came out in 2011. And it picks up right off where Deathly Hallows 1 left off. Dobby's grave. Voldemort gets the Elder Wand. And it's more Harry Potter, Ron, and Emma. I guess I want to call her Emma Watson now. But Hermione trying to find the next Horcrux. They got 3 down. They need to get 4 more. And they team up with this goblin who they saved in the 7th movie. And they go to the bank, Lestrange's bank, to find her vault where the 4th Horcrux is at, which is a cup. It's one like the cup of Hufflepuff, I think it is. Let me see. I think I should wrote it down here. I could be wrong, but let me double check. It is, yeah, Hufflepuff cup. Hagrid Helga Hufflepuff cup. So they go find the cup, and of course, every time there's a new Horcrux, it's some kind of weird task they have to overcome, some weird challenge they have to overcome, and they get the cup, and then this goblin decides to betray them. And it's like, nah, man, I just wanted the sword of Gryffindor, and you gave it to me. I never said I'd get you guys out. And then they go through like this giant, they get to the vault, they have to go to this giant cave and underground, and there's a dragon protecting the vault. And the dragon doesn't like people at all, regardless of what they are. Burns everybody, kills everybody, except for Hermione, Ron, and Hagrid. Not Hagrid, but Harry. They grab the cup, they get out, and they drive the dragon all the way out, and then the dragon drops off in a safe spot. Harry has another flashback that connects with Voldemort. Voldemort and Harry are now sharing minds again, and then Harry's starting to think some things as this keeps happening. He's like, we're sharing minds, what is going on? And he's like, also, I've seen the origins of the next Horcrux, number 5, which is the tiara of Ravenclaw. And he was like, I don't know where it's at, but I know it's back in Hogwarts. So we need to go back to Hogwarts. Which it kind of made sense to me now that why Hogwarts is such this place of all these things are going on, because that's where Tom Riddle mostly spent his life at, and then he put most of his Horcruxes in that spot. So they go back after go back to not Hogwarts exactly, but a spot that's like outside the town outside of Hogwarts. Getting the name of it. They run into Dumbledore's brother. He saves him, and Dumbledore's sister, the sister Dumbledore, she goes get Neville Longbottom, and he brings them back to Hogwarts, where all the kids are like, oh, here we are with our hero and savior has arrived. And Harry's like, all right, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. So, but we need to find the Ravenclaw's tiara. Only one person really knows where it's at, and that is Luna Lovegood, who was rescued by the gang in the 7th movie. She just kind of like disappeared, but appeared at Hogwarts. Anyway, she's like, I know where it's at, guys. Listen to me. Listen to me, Harry. At one point, she even called Harry out and says, it's a dead person has it, not a person alive seen it. A dead person has it. So Harry goes on another chase and finds the ghost of Ravenclaw's like daughter. Goes find her ghost, go talk to her, and they have a little exchange, tit for tat. While this is going on, before Harry goes to do that, I should say, Snape is the headmaster of Hogwarts, and he knows that Harry Potter's around, so he's calling out people left and right. And Harry's like, it's me. It's me, Austin. It's me all along, Austin.
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch! What? It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
But he shows up like right off the bat. Instead of this whole drag out a scene where we're not going to reveal who Harry is, which I thought it was going to do, Harry's like, nah, man, bump that. I'm here. Let's go. Bow down. And I thought we were going to get Harry versus Severus Snape. And I was like, this is it. Oh my God, here we go. And then McGonagall's like, nah, back off, Harry. I'm stepping in. And then her and Snape have a little tit for tat, but then Snape escapes. I'm like, no. This is Snape's moment. The moment of redemption. And he runs away? Okay, whatever. I'm disappointed in that. And we finally get McGonagall to do something, and I'm like, oh, she's about to go to town, and she doesn't get to show herself. Then he does a spell that like summons giant stone soldiers out of Hogwarts, which I'm like, that's pretty cool. I'm down with that. And Voldemort's army shows up. And then McGonagall's like, all right, we got to protect Harry. Harry, you go find that next Horcrux, and we get out of here. So while Harry go find the next Horcrux, Ron and Hermione are dealt with the task of destroying the cup. So they go find the Basilisk, which been sitting there since movie 2, and now it's skulls pretty much. They go take the teeth and stab the Basilisk, but Ron gives it to Hermione for some weird reason. Hermione has to do it for some weird reason. They do that. They about to get drowned. They don't get drowned. They escape and they make out. It's the first kiss we see between the two of them, and I was like, okay. I felt like this is not necessary, but I'm trying to think like, well, if you with your loved one, you about to die, would you make out? I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but all right, they did. And the whole scene that really made me think that this first half of this movie is really dragged out, because they did the whole, I'm not sure if I could do this. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Contemplation, stab it. Versus, you guys been through all this crap. You get this Horcrux, you stab it. You don't think twice. You kill it. You know the thing, and you put it down. And this is, okay. At this point, I am so tired of them panicking and overreacting to this Horcrux when they know it is this evil thing that needs to be destroyed. And then Harry also has a little mental breakdown when they destroy the Horcrux, and Voldemort does the same thing. And it made me start to think, Harry's a Horcrux. Within the first 20 minutes, now I say 20, it's like the first 40 minutes of the movie, I was like, Harry's the 7th Horcrux. It is him. It is him. And it was Harry Potter. That is supposed to be the twist. So Harry finds out he's the next Horcrux after they defeat the 7th. The 5th one, which is the tiara. Harry finds the tiara thanks to the ghost. He goes in the room of requirement, followed by Draco, one of the guys who's been around since like the first movie, and there's a random guy who would probably be Draco's friend out of nowhere. And Draco fights Harry. Harry disarms Draco. Draco pretty much tries to mess with Harry. Ron and Hermione comes in for the rescue, and then one of the friends, I forgot his name, he was in the second movie, he sets the place on fire with his fire casting spell, which caused like a phoenix, tiger, a snake, and I think something else shows up, and they try to run away. The place gets on fire. They escape. They save, while they're doing their escape, they save Draco and his friend, and the other guy who from the second movie dies. Like, alright, I don't care about him. But this also keeps revealing the fact that I can't take Draco seriously. He's supposed to be the antagonist to Harry, and he's kind of like a punk. He doesn't really attack Harry. He's kind of scared. His friend has more cojones than he does, and he actually fires a spell that gets everybody killed. Pretty much, almost gets everybody killed, but gets him killed. So Draco's like, oh, he's like this because of his parents, and he's like this because he's whatever, man. Like, I get it. The way you're raised does have an influence in your life, but Draco's also a grown-up boy who knows how to make decisions for himself. Like, no bull crap. This character to me just was wasted. I don't like Draco. That's horrible. So Voldemort attacks the Hogwarts. He attacks Hogwarts with his army. Neville Longbottom has a moment where he might die. I thought he was going to survive. Like, he's going against an army of like 100 people. He runs away, blows the bridge up, and then like you see that he doesn't make it. His wand comes up, and then he reaches up and over. I'm like, oh, the guy's going to be on his feet and going to pull him down. No, he just survives, no issue. And I was like, okay, so a lot of tropes are showing up here, but it's like But Neville, speaking of him, he has probably some of the best lines in this movie. He is probably the one who has a better arc than Draco, has a better arc than Snake. Like, Neville, the kid who got frozen in the first movie, in the end, really does some cool things. I can't wait to talk about it. And I will get to that next, a little later on. But next, we got to get to, like, Voldemort is now fearing for himself. The fifth Horcrux with the tiara has been destroyed by Harry and the gang, and Voldemort's like, we gotta keep Nagini, the snake, alive. Like, she can't be killed. Like, she's the last thing I have here. And he's scared, and he looks like, why this other wand's not working for me? So his army has been attacking, which includes trolls and a bunch of other things, have been attacking Hogwarts, and Hogwarts has been doing a pretty dang good job defending it off, but they are under attack, and their army is getting pretty much destroyed at one point. And then Voldemort retreats after he realized that, oh, Nagini can't be killed. He retreats and talks to Snape about how this wand's not his because Snape killed Dumbledore. So Snape was like, what? And no reaction, gets shot by freaking Voldemort. Snape didn't put up a fight. Snape did nothing. He looked at him like, what? And then he gets shot. And then Nagini doesn't eat him, just attacks Snape. And Snape sits in the corner and bleeds out to death. When he does that, Harry Potter comes in like, no, not Snape. And Snape's like, who's been a dick to Harry this whole time, looks at Harry and just like, take my tears, go to the pool of remembrance and look at them. And he cries. He looked at Harry, look at me. You have your mom's eyes. Okay, I can get down with that by the fact that Snape has a love-hate relationship with Harry's parents. He loves his mom and hates his dad. When you see this flashback, it goes over Snape and Lily's flashback, and Snape has a reaction, how he feels for her, and his talk with Dumbledore, how Dumbledore is like pretty much breeding Harry Potter to get killed by by Voldemort. He was like, yeah, no, Harry Potter needs to die for Voldemort to die because Voldemort attaches himself to Harry Potter. They could have been training Harry Potter for this. They didn't decide to train him for this. They didn't really train him. They didn't take the time. Dumbledore and Snape could have been training Harry Potter for this moment because they both knew about it. And Snape was like, what the heck, man? Why would you do that? And Dumbledore was like, you care about the boy? You have feelings for him? And then Snape does a Patronus spell, or Patronum spell, and brings up the baby doe, which is Lily's Patronus animal, and goes off, I'm probably saying that name wrong, guys, but goes off to find Harry in the 7th movie part 1. So that's the deer that comes up, was Snape actually doing that. And Dumbledore's like, oh, Lily. And he's like, how long? He's like, always. And he kind of has a flashback where he's crying over Lily's dead body. And at that point, like, Harry's like, oh, Snape's not a bad guy. Snape really did care for me. And I argue that he doesn't really care for Harry. Like, at the beginning, when I was watching the series, I was like, Snape could be that character who's just giving Harry Potter tough love, but really does care for Harry. And I feel like in this movie, it really drags out when Snape becomes a bad guy and like goes full Dark Lord. He doesn't really show any more compassion for anybody. So that one scene with him crying was like, You know, it made no sense. Like if you had a fight scene, because the movie's 2 hours and 10 minutes long. Most of Harry Potter movies been 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes. They could have had a mini like 5-minute fight scene, 2-minute, 3-minute fight scene where Snape was like, I'm not going out like this. I'm the second strongest person in the world right now behind you. Let's go to battle. Like he should be ready to go. How about thee? And they bowed out for a little bit. Of course, Voldemort is gonna win, but at least Snape put up a fight. Like, and then he was said like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not sitting next to you. You know, you're not killing out Harry Potter like that. Like his mom, I love his mom. I'm going to sit here and protect this kid for his mom because that's the only thing that she has left in this world. Something to show that like he really cared. Something. But you didn't do that, guys. Y'all just like, okay, Snape dies. The writing, but the Snape storyline really started making the movie good to me, and it's like, oh, this is getting a good movie now. It's no longer boring and dragged out. It's really getting good because now, cause like I already knew the epic battle was gonna happen. It was just like, how are we gonna get here? And I felt like they kept dragging it out further and further. But like after the hour mark and that backstory between Lily and Snape and the music and everything, Snape reaction, that whole scene was done so well. Alan Rickman is so good, and it was done so well that like, man, this is really heartfelt. And then Harry goes and realizes, okay, I know what I gotta do. And he goes talk to Ron, and Hermione said, hey, you gotta kill the snake. I know for a long time, you guys know too, that I am the 7th Horcrux. That's why I'm connected to him. So he goes to the forest and then finds the Stone of Resurrection, which is inside the snitch that he had because of reasons and plot twists. But it said you can bring back people from the dead. It never said, I guess it never really said how it's supposed to be used and how it's supposed to do that. It just bring back people from the dead. So I guess Harry just had it in his pocket the whole time. So when he died, because he does, he goes to Voldemort and Voldemort like, we'll end this in the forest, and Voldemort just shoots him right down. He dies, like just like that. He does talk to Sirius and his mom and dad and asks about how death happens, and they're like, it's pretty quick. It's more like sleep. You go to sleep longer. And he wakes up in purgatory or heaven? I don't know. But there's a dead baby Voldemort in the corner. That's creepy looking. And then Dumbledore's there like, yo, what up, Harry? How you doing? And Harry's like, Dumbledore, you know, why? Like, he didn't even ask Dumbledore, he's like, what should I do? And Dumbledore was like, oh, you can go back whenever you want. And Harry's like, huh? Whenever I want? How? Like, you know, just give him train. Train. Like, what Dragon Ball anime stuff is this? Like, at least in Dragon Ball Z, you need the Dragon Balls to come back, and they like somebody wish you back. And like other animes, like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World has a death scene like this too, where Scott Pilgrim wakes up dead. And you know what? He has this one life thing that he grabs and he goes back. Harry Potter just has this talk with Dumbledore in the afterlife, and then just like nothing else, and doesn't really like. There's no explanation how he got back. Like, I know he has the Resurrection Stone, but I never knew saying how it was used. He put it in his pocket, and by him having it on his present, brought him back to life. I don't know. He just comes back. And it was like no explanation to this. I just don't get it. I'm putting this blind look at that and just like, yeah, man, sure. I've seen enough death resurrection stuff in anime that in different TV shows that even that is like, that made no sense. Like, even in the Avengers Endgame was like on your left. They went back in time, did the snap to bring back everybody to life. This one just, it didn't add up and didn't make sense to me. And I was just like, okay. But I think the Resurrection Stone brought him back. I'm pretty sure it did. It had to. That's the only reason he had it on him. But okay, he comes back. With that being said, like, Voldemort is gloating. Like, he killed Harry Potter. The only threat to him is dead. Yes, he is dead. And he goes back to Hogwarts to kind of like prove to everybody. He has Hagrid tied up, and Hagrid is holding Harry. And he let Hagrid go. Hagrid goes off to everybody else with Harry's dead body, so everyone can see that Harry's dead. And Voldemort gives everybody an ultimatum. Join me, be a part of my army, or you're all gonna die. Draco steps up, who had this moment here to step up and say, I've been working with you for the past 3 years or 2 years or a year and a half here. I'm doing it no longer. I'm going to be a man. I'm going to fight you. No, he just jumps up, goes over to his mom and dad. And I'm like, okay. Alright. right, so Draco doesn't have a redemption arc. His redemption arc is quite garbage in this movie, if he ever had one. I don't think he did. There's no feeling of sorrow or no like repercussions for what he did. It's just like, okay, we just let him walk away with it. Oh, he didn't rat Harry out in the 7th movie, part 1. Okay, nobody really recognized Harry. He recognized him, but he didn't rat him out. Okay, but as far as repercussions, he doesn't get anything. He just walks away with his family in the end. When the battle breaks down, he doesn't jump in the fight. Him and his family leaves. They just run away. And I'm like, would you let this get off scot-free? And then Neville's like, started walking up. He's been injured from the night before, because the battle's been going on for the night before, and it's like the daytime now. So he's walking up, broken leg, and he's like walking up, and he's like, my name is Neville Longbottom. Everybody makes fun of him, so like that. They show Bellatrix Lestrange, which I thought he and Bellatrix Lestrange gonna have the final fight, but they don't. He's like, I'm not gonna join you. He said, Harry Potter may be dead, so what? But Harry Potter lives in their hearts. And he kept fighting, we're gonna keep fighting. And he gets his sword out and he tries to attack Voldemort, and Harry Potter wakes up and springs into action. Like, holy crap, Neville had a better arc than Snape and freaking Draco had. I did not see it coming. Neville bossed up so much in this movie. Like, he was the kid that got frozen in the first movie, to now this kid who's defending his friends and defending not just his friends but his school and in the world. And it was so cool to see Neville Longbottom get this comeuppance and his moment of glory. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. I applaud that. They done him so well. Like, yes. And this is now taking my movie review from boring to excited, and now like this writing is starting to get good. And then you have the epic fight scene. You have Harry versus Voldemort, and then Nagini is trying to attack Harry, but Hermione and Ron comes in and try and save him. And Neville, who gets the sword, he picks the sword up and he finds where Nagini is chasing down Ron and Hermione. They kind of fall and they go into the corner, and Neville comes up with this epic sword swipe and just cuts Nagini in half. But while that's going on, Harry is battling Voldemort, and they're going all over the place, and they get into like the transportation, like Harry grabs Voldemort and like trying to take him down, and they're gonna die together, and then Voldemort like starts flying, and Harry's like grabbing onto him, and they're like mixing and morphing into each other, fall into like the courtyard, and they just had this epic battle with the laser beam from the 4th movie. Their first battle was it repeats itself, and they're going at each other. And when Neville cuts Nagini, it overpowered, like Voldemort loses all his power and pretty much gets overpowered by Harry and stops, and then just fades to ashes and dies. Also, Lestrange dies too by Harry Potter's mom of all, not Harry Potter, but Ron Weasley mom of all people. Mama Weasley kills Nagini, and this is the first time that you actually hear cussing at all in this whole movie. She says the word bitch. She's like, don't mess with my daughter, you bitch. And I'm like, oh, okay. And this battle between her and Lestrange, which I guess Mama Weasley is really powerful, but this battle between them like happened really quick. Mama Weasley turned Lestrange into stone and then just shoots him to ashes. Like, okay, did not see that one coming, but sure, we'll go and get that one to you because you've been around since day one, so you at least been there. You've been helping. You've been part of Order of the Phoenix. We give it to you. You get it. This movie does have a lot of casualties. One of the twin brothers dies. I don't know which one does. One of the twin brother dies. Lupin and Nefadari, they die. A lot of people die in this movie. It's really sad, but also a lot of people come out alive. And after they beat Voldemort, they do like a time skip. And they go 19 years into the future, and Harry Potter and Jeannie have two kids, and Harry actually named his kid Albus Severus Potter. And I'm sitting there thinking like, what the F? You named your kid after the guy who was a dick to you the whole movie, who I thought was going to have a really cool comeback story, and does not have a cool comeback story. And you give him that after one teardrop, and then you name your kid after Albus, who I understand that makes more sense. Dumbledore, the one who kind of been there for you, like your mentor the whole time, but he also was breeding you to get killed and didn't really train you how to fight fight Voldemort, and also on top of that, he knew where the little Horcrux was at, but didn't really point you in the right direction to find him. What a, like, I don't know. I don't trust that. I've been kind of butthurt about that. But Harry was like, sure, it's fine. The teacher who was a dick to you for most of your school year, it's fine. And I do say Severus was kind of justified. Like Snape, I'll say Snape was justified. Not being a complete dick, but like it made sense why he had the feelings he did towards Harry, because he reminded him of his father who tortured him, and he reminded him of his mother who loved him and was a good friend. He got friends on big time, but I can see that. And I wish they would have just played more in that conflicting view. Like Snape was always there to protect the kids, but at the same time it was really hard on him in class because he wanted to see him do better and not be like his father. Like, I wish they really played on that more, and they didn't. You know, they really didn't. But yeah, so they named the kids that Hermione and Ron has 2 kids, and all the kids ready to go to Hogwarts for the first time. But also, freaking Draco's there, and Draco was like, no repercussions, no consequences for his actions. He was just like, oh, here's my kids, and here we go. Also, Luna Longbottom, not Luna, I was called Luna Longbottom earlier, which is funny because Luna and Neville do get together, and they have a family together. So, yeah. But at the ending, as far as the second half of this movie was super great. It was phenomenal. Like, I loved every bit of it. I loved how it played out. I loved the suspense and the drama and everything about this was great at the end of the movie. So my review was really wavered on this one because of that. So the first half was kind of boring and dragged out. The second half was like, oh man, we hit the gas pedal and we're going. And I really loved it. I really appreciate it. So the final roll call here, and everybody did great. Like, the actors did great. Nobody's really new in this series, in this movie, besides the Goblin, which he doesn't really have a big part. So the main people, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, Daniel Radcliffe, Alan Rickman, Maggie Smith as McGonagall. You got Matthew Lewis as Neville Longbottom. You got, I'm looking at my thing here, Robert Coltrane as Hagrid. You got Ralph Fiennes, who played Lord Voldemort. Like, this group, this cast is phenomenal. Tom Felton, like, roll call Draco, roll call everybody. Everybody did great in this movie. Bonnie Wright, Ginny Weasley, I don't have any complaints. Like, the movie was done. Michael Gambon, who played Dumbledore, was great. I have no complaints about the characters in this movie, and I freaking love it. Freaking, Bonnie Wright. I already said Bonnie Wright as Ginny Weasley. You have Jason Isaac played Lucius Malfoy, phenomenal. Again, who else am I missing here? Lestrange, who's played by Helen Bonham Carter, played Lestrange. Everybody did great in this movie. I don't have complaints. It is a phenomenal movie. Well, the second half was phenomenal. The first half was kind of boring, but it was great. It was great, and you know what? Great series, great way to end a series. But also kind of funny that people don't really talk about this movie as a finale, as a good finale for a series, because it's kind of broken at certain points. This first half is kind of boring, so people don't talk about this as like, oh man, like episode 6, it finished it all. Nobody ever talk about this as that kind of movie. I finally realized it. But the music was great, the tone was great, everything about this movie was great, but the first half was really boring and dragged out, and that really plays a part on me. And how Harry Potter comes back to life, it just didn't really add up. That plays a part on me too. So yeah, all right. Is this a Friday night movie? Sure, watch it. Watch the Friday night movie. Now, grading time. I'm going to grade Harry Potter in the Deathly Hallows Part 2. I'm grading it a B-. That's what it is. It's a B-. The reason why, because the first half of the movie is kind of boring and dragged out. You got to keep playing on the whole. We found the Horcrux. Oh, tension. How do we defeat it? Okay, cut. Okay, here's Draco. Ran away. Like, Snape, his whole backstory, like, Oh, I do like the fact when they beat Voldemort, they do destroy the wand, the other wand, because absolute power corrupts absolutely. And Ron was like, that wand gives us so much power. And Harry's like, boop, Fuck that wad, throws it out. So I do like that. The ending in the second half of the movie was phenomenal. After the first hour mark, it picks up and it makes more sense. But Harry's death doesn't really get explained. He just shows up and leaves. Like, okay, I guess he can just walk out because Voldemort killed him. Makes no sense, but whatever. Yeah, it's a B minus to me. IMDb gave it a B minus. You know, 90 Rotten Tomatoes, while the fans gave it 96%. IMDb gave it a B, gave it 8.1%, which is a B minus. And that's why I give it a B minus. I gave it a B minus before I saw the IMDb score. So it's a good solid way to end a series. I didn't really mind it as an ending. It was just the first half of this movie as a movie by itself. The first half of the movie wasn't that great. You're like, well, I'll use enough to watch it by itself. I watched it by itself and watched the movie every weekend, and yes, it's a B minus. If you've seen Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. I love you guys. Thank you guys for the support. See you next time. Keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend about my series. Tell a friend about Grind Towards Success. Tell a friend about the Movie Breakdown series. If you really like these episodes, I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. It means so much. I can't tell you how much it means. Like it's like I'll be really grateful you just told a friend and share and subscribe to the series. And thank you guys for watching this. Also, if you want to follow my journey outside of YouTube or Facebook, you can go to my Instagram page and you can follow me on my Instagram page at Ali_Zakka. It's right here. Put it right here in my face. That way you're like, where's his face at? Well, it's right behind the Instagram logo. Yeah, but you can follow me on my Instagram page. And also, if you want another episode of Grind Towards Success or Movie Breakdowns, you can watch the episode of Grind Towards Success right here. You can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right there. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. See you guys next time. Keep being awesome.